Hello, everybody. So now let's see what do we mean by production possibility curve, or what is called PPC. PPC is similar to the budget line, which I explained in the previous video. So PPC is going to be the same. The only difference is what is budget line is used for individuals. So remember the example of peanuts and candy. So this means if I am an individual and I have a case which I have to choose between two options, so I'm going to use a budget line. So budget line is my tool as an individual to find what is the optimal or the maximum combination which I can choose between two choices. PPC is almost the same as a budget line, but used on a larger scale, which means used by societies, used by economies, used by countries. So this means if I'm a country and I want to find what is the maximum or what is the optimal combination of products which I'm supposed to use, given my limited financial resources, I'm not going to use budget line, which is used by individuals. I'm going to use something else, which is called PPC. Okay, so let's start with question number 6. So here I'm saying that below is a production possibilities table for consumer goods, automobiles, and forklifts. Okay, so when I explain the budget line, I use an example of peanuts and candy bars for individuals. Here, I'm using an example to explain how can we make optimal choices using PPC. So I'm choosing two products, which is automobiles and capital goods. So here in this question, I'm giving you, let's say the table is given. So these are the two choices you have, automobiles and forklifts. Okay, and these are the different choices you have, A, B, C, D, E, E. Okay, so for example, point A, it means the economy or the society will produce no automobiles and will focus only on producing forklifts. How many? 30. Okay, option B will produce 2 units of automobiles and 27. It can be 2,000, 2 millions, but just let's make this number small just to make it easy for you to understand. Option C, 4 automobiles and 21 forklifts. Option D, 6 automobiles and 12 forklifts. Option E is, if you go with option number E, so you will produce 8 units of automobiles and 0 units of forklifts. Okay, so now let's see question number B. If the economy is at point C, what is the cost of one more automobile? Let's see here the solution here. So okay, so this is point A, this is point B, C, D, and this is point E. Let me remind you again with the table. So I'm just repeating the table again here. So I said point A is 0 automobiles. Okay. Again, doesn't matter which one you put on the x-axis or the y-axis, doesn't matter. So here I put automobiles on the y-axis. I put forklifts on the x-axis. So automobiles on the y, so this is going to be your y-axis. So don't be confused. Forklift, it can be, this is going to be my x-axis. So this means point A will be written as what? 30 and then 0. As you can see, so this is point A. Point B is 27 and 2. So this is point B. 27 and 2. What about point C? It's 21 and 4. So this is point C. This is 21 and 4. And point D, 12 and 6. So 12 and 6. So this is point D, 12 and 6. And the last point is point E, which is 0 and 8. So this is 0 and this is 8. Okay, so this is point E, which is 0 and 8. Okay, so we have different points, number A, E, D, C, B, and A. So if you connect all these lines, as I said before, so it's almost similar to the budget line. The only maybe one of the difference is this is a curve, not a straight line. So, but anyway, this is what we call PPC. So this means for any society with these options, any society can be on any of these points, any point on the PPC. As I said before, it's attainable, it's visible, and it's efficient. While it's inefficient to be located at any point below the PPC. Any point above the PPC, as I said before in the previous video, so it is unattainable. So you can't, with the existing limited resources you have, you can't be located on any of these points. Okay, so let's go back. Here, so okay. So the question is what? If the economy is at point C, what is the cost of one more automobile or one more forklift? Okay, so if the point is, let me clear this. Okay, so here, if the economy is at point C here, okay, so with at point C, so let's see if we move from C to D. This is a very important point. So if we move from C to D, what will be the opportunity cost? So the typical question for the budget line and the PPC is give you a question like this, a data, and then ask you about finding the opportunity cost. So if I move from C to D, let's see. So if I move from C, and let's see a different line. So let's see if I move from C to D here. Okay, as you can see, so from C to D, I will have more automobiles, right? Here. But at the same time, I'm sacrificing some units of forklifts. So if you move from C to D, what happened? So you will get more automobiles here, but you will produce less number of forklifts. So let's see this. So if I move from C to D, so see how many units. So 4. Let's start it by this. So 21 F, right? 21 forklifts, and A, and 4 A, which is 4 automobiles. If you want to produce more automobiles, so let's move to point D. So point D, you will have 12 forklifts, right? This is point D, and 6 automobiles. Okay, so if this is the case, so opportunity cost is the same as the slope. Remember how to find the slope? The slope is the change in y over change in x. This is the easiest way to find out the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the same as the slope. So what does it mean? So in our example, in our particular example, so we put forklifts on the x-axis, we put the automobiles on the y-axis. So the change in y, I mean the change in automobiles. Okay, let me be clear about this. Whenever I say change, it's new minus old. What does it mean? So I'm currently at point C and I want to move to point D, right? So I'm considering this as this is your old point and this is your new point. You want to move from C to D. So the change in Y is translated into what? It means, please tell me what will be the change in the number of automobiles, because automobiles on the y-axis, if you move from C to D. So it was 4, and now it becomes 6. So 6 minus 4. I said new minus old. 6 minus 4. So 6 minus 4. Okay, divide by change in x, which is forklift in our case. So 12 minus 21. 12 minus 21. So this will give you 9 minus 9. So the opportunity cost will equals what? Will equal here 2 divided by -9 or -2/9. Okay, so in order to produce an additional 1 unit of automobile, you have to sacrifice or give up the production of 2/9 units of forklifts. So the negative sign, as I said in the previous video about the budget line, I said this, it's downward sloping, so that's why the slope has to be a negative. Okay, if you didn't get my point, so let's see another example. Now, instead of producing more automobiles, let's say you want to produce more forklifts. So let's see how we can do this. So now let's see your point C, and you want to move to point B. Okay, so from C to B. Okay, so now let's write down this. So point C, and you want to move to point B. So let's write down again. Point C is 21F and 4A. If you want to move to point B, so how many forklifts you will produce? 27F and 2 automobiles. Okay, so now let's find the opportunity cost. As you can see, if you move from C to B, you will end up with producing more forklifts and less automobiles. Okay, so the change in Y, automobiles, again, don't forget, is on the Y axis. So 2 minus 4 will give you -2. Yes, 2 minus 4. Divide by change in X, which is 27 minus 21 will give you 6. So -2/6. So this will give you a -1/3. So this means the opportunity cost of producing 1 additional forklift equals you have to sacrifice 1/3 unit of automobile. Okay, let's I know that this may be like a little bit tough, so that's why let me give you another example to explain the idea. How can we find the opportunity cost using the PPC? Okay, let's see this question number 7. It's a similar question. Instead of forklifts and automobiles, so here I'm using example of automobiles and aircrafts. So again, these are the different choices. You have A, B, C, D. Okay, these are the different choices. So the first question, as you move from point A to B, and from B to C, and so on from C to D, what happened to the marginal opportunity cost? Okay, as you move from A to B, the marginal opportunity cost increases. Okay, let's see. Let's find out this. Let me explain what I mean by this. So if you move, okay, let's do one at a time. If you move from A to B, from A to B, okay, at point A, how many aircrafts you have? 400. Okay, so 400 aircrafts. How many automobiles? 0 automobiles. Let me write it here. Okay, so from A to B, you have 400 aircrafts and 0 automobiles. If you move to point B, as you can see here, this is point B. So how many aircrafts you have? Now you have 350 and you have 200 automobiles. Okay, so don't forget, this is y-axis and this is your x-axis. Now, how do you find the opportunity cost? Again, the change in y over change in x. Change in y here, 350 minus 400. This gives you -50. And then 200 minus 0, this equals 200. Okay, so -50 over 200. If you simplify it, this will give you the opportunity cost of producing 1 additional unit of automobile, because if you move from A to B, you will end up with producing more automobiles. Okay, so the opportunity cost from A to B is negative. Okay, so let's simplify it. So this is negative 1/4. Okay, so from A to B, let me clean this. Okay, so from A to B is negative 1/4. Okay, now let's try something else. Now let's move from B to C. So this is B and this is C. B is 350 aircraft and 200 automobiles. With point C, this is point C, you have 200 aircraft and 400 automobile. Okay, so let's find the opportunity cost. So change in Y, so which is the aircraft here. So 200 minus 350, this equals minus 150, which is 200 minus 350. And the change in X is 400 minus 200, which is 200. So 15/20. Okay, so this is by 5 equals 4. This is by 5 equals 3. Yes, so now, so let's do this. So the opportunity cost as you move from B to C equals negative 3/4, but the opportunity cost as you move from A to B equals negative 1/4. And you can keep trying this, like find out the opportunity cost from C to D. You will find that it's getting higher. So that's why I'm explaining why here I put it increases as I move from A to B and from B to C. Okay. What's the opportunity cost of moving from B to C? I already answered this question. And what does the term increasing marginal opportunity cost mean in the above graph? This is what I explained. So as the economy moves along the PPC, this is the PPC or PPF, okay, it experiences increasing opportunity cost. Okay, so this is what I have for in this video. So I hope that you understand now the concept of PPC. Thank you, and see you in the next video.